Okay, today we will discuss a new topic, Workmen Compensation Act, 1923. The other name of this Employees Compensation Act. Whatever the name given, other which name Workmen's Compensation Act. Employees Compensation Act. ఇంకేం అప్పుడు వర్కర్ వచ్చింది ఎంప్లాయీ వచ్చింది వర్కర్ వచ్చింది ఏమన్నా వచ్చి compensation what time do whenever you meet with an accident or injury or any disease తమరి ఎంప్లాయర్ compensation First, you understand the meaning of this workers' compensation act, employees' compensation act. As I told you earlier, this is one social security act. It's a kind of like different insurance act you have. If you see your syllabus, this is under the group of social security, workers' compensation act, ESI Act, EPF Act, Maternity Act. We'll read one by one. Today we'll read the part one, Workers' Compensation Act. The Workmen Compensation Act 1923 aims to provide financial compensation. It is in financial term, like whatever compensation you are getting in the form of money, financial form. Compensation to employees in case they meet with an unfortunate accident while performing their duties. The very important condition is while they are in duties, performing their duties, all employees working full-time, part-time, temporarily or casually are liable to receive financial protection under this law. This is a law. One condition is when a person is working, while working they met an accident, suppose, or any injury, or due to the work they have some disease, then the act is coming into picture. The Workers' Compensation Act 1923 is a type of social security legislation. The compensation is paid in case of an accident or injury, including some occupational disease. We'll see what are the occupational diseases that arises out of the employment. That means you are working because of your environment, because of your work, because of your machine, or whatever you are working. The damage caused by that, including some occupational disease that arises out of or during the employment of that result in total or partial disability. If someone is totally disabled or partially disabled, images of the workers. किंमत कोणसी लोक जदि काम करू करू डेथ हेगला मरीगला किंबा हाथ कटिगला गोड़ कटिगला these are the loss. So if you see the right hand side, there is a diagram in different circumstances. One circumstance is injury, the accident, then occupational disease. So whenever you are suffering this problem, you have to claim, then you will get the money. So the employer has certain rules. What are the, in which condition, how much compensation one should give to the employee. Those are defined in the act, in the rule. So the meaning is the employees are getting some compensation due to the accidental loss or damage happened to them because of personal injury, accident, uh, or any disease due to the work. And all these things are happen. So in the act, it is defined what is the compensation and which situation the person is entitled to get compensation. Everything is defined in the rule. That came in 1923. Actually, during this period, 19 before independence, lot of things. It was a British rule. Under British rule, the act, the law was very much British supported. That means go to British. So whenever someone is meeting with an accident or any injury to health or something, they did not have a proper forum, proper way to get the compensation because they lost something. If an employee is losing its leg or hands, so that means the person is not able to do or perform further work in the lifestyle. So that is going to a big loss for the employees. But that loss was not properly mitigated during the British rule. So that is the history of this act, Competition Act. Features of the Workers' Compensation Act. Employers are under the obligation to provide financial compensation as per the Workers' Compensation Act 1923 in the following circumstances. There are certain rules or circumstances or incidents where the employers are obligated. The employers are realizing that they are supposed to give the compensation in case of any damage happening to the employee. Employers are under the obligation of that financial compensation as per the Workmen's Compensation Act. An accident or injury occurs at the workplace while carrying out the task. So whenever a person is working in the factory, in the machine, in the industry, काम କରୁଥିଲା ବେଳେ ଯଦି କିଛି ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଲା, ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକର ହାତ କଟିଗଲା, ଗୋଡ କଟିଗଲା କିମ୍ବା କୌଣସି ଲୋକର ଡେଥ୍ ହେଇଗଲା କିମ୍ବା disease ହେଇଗଲା, then employer is obligated to compensate that person. That person should give the required proof. Properly proof करके यदि claim कला, then employer is supposed to give the compensation. If the applicant provides proof that the injury or accident that has occurred at the workplace is aggravative with his medical condition, proper proof has to give by the employee. In case of workers become disabled or dies while on duty, that is also another features of the act. If a person is totally dead, died because of some bad operation or some accident, so then also the employer is supposed to give the compensation to the employee. So these are the main features. The first feature is employers are obligated and the employees who are permitting the accident should give a proper proof. In case of death or permanent disablement, so these are the characteristics or features of the Compensation Act 1923. Scope: all employees who are actually coming in the preview of this act. All employees working full-time, part-time, temporarily or casually are liable to receive financial protection under this law. Anyone working as a full-time worker, part-time worker, temporarily or permanently, they are all liable. It comes into effect in case death, require injury, incapacity, and disfigurement. So then he has to claim with the loss, whatever the loss. ಜನಕರ ಸಕಲ್ ಖರಾಬ್ ಆಗ್ಯಾರ ಮುಖ ಖರಾಬ್ ಆಗ್ಯಾರ because of the bad chemical or some wrong operation in the machine or some accident. It could be anything. So that is disfigurement or dies while performing the duties. ये सब कारणରୁ କିଛି problem ହେଲେ then that is coming under this scope of this compensation act. Other than that, non-permanent employees of the railways, ଯୋଉମାନେ contractor ଅଛନ୍ତି, non-permanent employees who do not fall under the sub-divisional, district or administrative officers, captains and crew members of aircraft, laborers employed abroad as per the Schedule 2. Schedule 2 is an act, is a rule in the act. So there we have a list of all these persons employed in different countries under this Workmen Compensation Act 1923. Individual working and construction sites. It means laborer, ମିସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଯେଉଁମାନେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ସାଇଟରେ, ଘର କାମ ହଉ, ରାସ୍ତା କାମ ହଉ, ମାଇନ୍ସରେ ହଉ, ଡକ୍ସରେ ହଉ, ଯେକୌଣସି କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ୱାର୍କର, ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟର, ସିଭିଲ ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟର, dog factory and special places as per the Schedule 2 of the mentioned act. In the act Schedule 2, there is a big list. Drivers, mechanics, helpers, and other persons associated with the working with the vehicles. So this is the scope of the act. So this kind of workers, this kind of persons are within that act, are supposed to get, entitled to get the compensation under Workmen's Compensation Act. In one sense, they are all type of employee, whoever working in the permanent and non-permanent, in railway, in banking, in port, in construction site, in the roads, in the mines, everyone, dogs, factory, industries, all type of workers are part of this law and they are included in the scope. What are the employer's liability for compensation? With the Section 3 of the Act, if a worker suffered personal injury by accident arising out of and in the course of his employment, his employer shall be liable to pay compensation in accordance with the provisions of the Act. The Act says whenever a person is meeting with an accident and suffering some injury, it could be personal injury or mental injury or physical injury, then the employer is liable to pay the compensation to the employees. To submit a statement to the commission. So another thing is how it is going to happen, how the compensation is going to happen. To submit a statement to the commission within 30 days of receiving the notice in the prescribed form, given the circumstances attending the death of workman as a result of an accident and indicating whether he is liable to deposit any compensation for the same. So here the employers are liable, they have the liability in case of death. The second point is given to submit a statement to the commission within 30 days of receiving the notice in the prescribed form, given with the circumstances attending the death of a workman as a result of an accident and indicating whether he is liable to deposit any compensation for the same. Submit accident report to the commission in the prescribed form within 7 days of the accident, which result in death of a workman or the serious bodily injury of the workman. So in all these cases, the employers are liable or they have the liability to compensate the worker. In case of death, in case of injury, in case of permanent injury, the employers are having that liability to compensate the employee. This includes coverage of what are the things covered under this act, this policy, these rules. Any type of injury, permanent injury, any injury during an accident with while on duty. Person is on duty, suppose there is some injury happened that duty. Temporary disablement, permanent disablement. There is a difference between temporary disablement. Suppose जनकर हाथ डैमेज ହେଇଗଲା ହାତ ଭାଙ୍ଗିଗଲା 2 months 3 months ପାଇଁ ଜଣେ କାମ କରିପାରିବନି but after that again a person will fit 2 months 3 months ପରେ ଜଣେ ଭଲ କାମ କରିପାରିବ ଜଣकर ହାତ ପୁରା ପୁରା ନଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲା that is permanent disablement permanently ଜଣकर ହାତ ଚାଲିଗଲା ତାର compensation ଅଲଗା temporarily disablement ର compensation ଅଲଗା death ହେଲେ ତା compensation ଅଲଗା death due to an accident ହବା ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ କାମ କରୁ କରୁ ଯଦି ମରିଗଲା ତାହେଲେ ତାର compensation ଅଲଗା but that person has to prove all the accident happening in the duty while the person is working in the factory in the organization in the premises. So this type of injury, disease or death. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ପଢିଥିଲେ disease. Disease is also one type of coverage. Suppose ତମେ ଗୋଟେ factory କାମ କରୁଛ ଯୋଉ factory ଗୋଟେ ଅଲଗା ପ୍ରକାର ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ଅଛି ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଦେଖ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉ ବାଣ ଯୋଉଠି ତିଆରି ହଉଛି ବାରୁଦ ହଉଛି they are developing a disease inside the heart, inside their body. This disease जोड़ा कौन होची? हमारा body की खराब होची, develop होची, but you have to prove properly because of this gas or this chemical, your what is damaging, what is the loss of your damage. So then only this you can claim the compensation under this act. This type of disease requires proper medical certification, medical approval. So these are all included in the act. All legal or any other expenses incurred by an employee the above circumstances. Whatever the circumstances you have seen in the above, they cover it. So any expenses you are doing, any medication, any legal expenses you are doing for that, all these things are covered under this. So employers are liable to give to compensate all these diseases at this time. So what are the coverage? So main thing you read the injury, temporary disablement, partial disablement, and permanent disablement. All these things you understand. Death, any type of diseases. These are typical coverage of this act. Remember that. Then we'll also understand what is not going to cover. We'll take a quick break. Then we'll also read what is not going to cover on this act. That is also important.